Hi, this is Mike Dirks, Regional Home Missionary Coordinator of the Presbytery of Ohio. And today I'm interviewing Perry and Lisa Hess down in Louisville, Kentucky, with the church plant there, Providence Orthodox Presbyterian Church. So, Perry, Lisa, welcome. And just give a quick story. How did you guys come about finding Providence?
Well, I we were involved in the planting of the two PCA churches here back in the 1980s, early 2000s, and we had left the PCA through some family things. We didn't want to. I mean, we cried gallons of tears. It was a small church, and we had a young child who was coming up into the youth group age, and there was nobody his age. And he hated to stay for Sunday school, so we ended up going to a Southern Baptist church. Well, fast forward now to like what was it, 3 years ago. The wife of one of my former students at the PCA church. I worked with the youth group in the PCA churches. One of the wives of one of my former students emailed me and said that there was a couple in town trying to get another Reformed church started, and I jumped in with both feet right away. I was never real comfortable going to the Southern Baptist Church, but I did, and they accepted me, and I even got to teach there. But when I was called, I jumped in with both feet, and I've got a little story about that too later on. Maybe if you want to hear about that, how we ended up going. Well, I'll just go ahead and tell you. I told Lisa about it, and she said, "Well, yeah, let's go."
Check it out.
But she gave me very specific instructions. She said, "We'll go to the Bible study and we'll become friends with these people, but we're not leaving such and such church that we're at now. I like my friends. I like my Sunday school. We're not leaving." So I left it at that. And I just prayed, the whole time we're going to the Bible study. And I never mentioned it again. I told God that if he would have this to happen, then it would have to be completely him to tell her and show her, the benefit or whatever, and for her to make the decision. And I wasn't going to mention it ever again. Well, about, I don't know, 8 months later, we were just out on a Saturday afternoon running errands. And we weren't even talking about church or anything. And suddenly she just turned to me and said, "If you want to go and help Craig start this church, I'm ready." And I'm driving the car. I almost had to pull over. I just laughed. I just laughed so hard. I mean, that was obviously it was God, because like I said, I didn't say another word about it, and she just came to it on her own.
Well, it was hard to leave because we had been there since Nathan, our youngest, was going in fifth grade, getting ready to go into the youth group. And so that was probably what, 10, 15 years. And we had developed a lot of good friends there. And like Perry said, he was able to teach and stuff. So it was just really hard for me to leave my friends. But the new year started and they were talking about doing different things in the Sunday school, I kind of just backed away from serving and doing some stuff. And I think that was God working on me to come along with him to the church, to the OPC.
That's a wonderful story. Thank you for sharing that with the churches. So let's talk about what's happening now. What's kind of the current condition, what you're doing. I know there's worship happening. Talk to us about kind of what things look like, and as fall comes about, what are plans for the fall?
Well, right now we're just having worship service. We have about, I'd say, 30 people that come on, if they come on a regular basis. Of course, the summers have been kind of low attendance, but we have right now we just have mostly older people. We have some young people, the Humphrey's son and daughter-in-law, and we've got some young college kids that have started coming. And then we have worship service at 4 o'clock, and we do the Lord's Supper every week. in the service. And what else? Our worship is, the traditional with the hymns and the saying the creeds and that kind of stuff. And I love the preaching because it's so what's that word I'm trying to think of? Expository. Yes. And at the last church we weren't getting that expository. And
Good. So yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
we're starting in the fall, in October, starting to have a Bible study again. And some of the things that we have planned, we did a festival last year, J-Town Festival. It's a really big, huge festival. It lasts all weekend, and we set up a booth there and gave out. We reached a lot of people. We actually had a whole bunch of people sign up that wanted information about the church and that kind of stuff. And out of that, we got one person that has been coming.
Good.
And which, one is great. We'd like to have more, but just God hasn't given us but the one. But we did that festival last year, and we're going to start having like every other third, like we've had some women events, like we did a painting party where the women met and we all painted a picture. And we're going to start once a month having a women's group meeting, and then the men are starting a men's group. We're going to try to do the Bible study like every other Thursday. And then in the Thursdays that we don't meet, it'll be a women meet one Thursday and the men meet the other Thursday.
Oh, that's
So
good.
those are a
That's
few
good.
things that we're doing. And we have a dinner, a monthly dinner after church, the first Sunday of the month. And that's a really good time of fellowship.
Yeah, good.
I'm trying
Good.
to think. What else?
Yeah.
Can you think of anything
So
else?
let me ask this question. If somebody walked in, what would they experience when they walked in to the group, kind of first time?
I would say, and I haven't been able to say this about a lot of churches, they will find a very warm and accepting, loving group of people. I somehow have been tasked with closing up, to the church afterwards, and getting everything right and locking up and setting the alarm and things. And this happens more often than not, where I have to tell people, okay, it's time to go. Because after the last amen is said, everybody stays in the sanctuary and just talks. We stand in the aisle, we sit down, and we just talk with each other. We just have a great time of fellowship and friendship. I've been in one other church that has done that, and it's a really cool feeling. It's like nobody wants to leave.
Yeah. We seek out like the new people. We all try to go to those new people as soon as we know that they're, we see them in the church. In fact, we had a couple, I think it was a couple of weeks ago, that had 2 kids, and they stayed all the way. They were one of the last people to leave because we were all just talking to them and, introducing ourselves. So I agree with Perry that we're very friendly, and we've had people in the hospital. We've gotten meals together for them. We've helped several of our people move to other locations and move out of town. So we've done packing parties with, people packing up their stuff and that kind of stuff. Even just being as small as we are, everybody's willing to reach out and help.
Good. So how do the churches, as they're watching this, how can they pray? A couple, 2, 3 things that they can pray for regarding Providence Church there in Louisville.
Well, for one, for patience. We went through, as you know, a pretty lengthy pastor search time, and we've identified a man, and he's now in process of being licensed and ordained. And we have confidence now that we know he's coming, but we have to wait until the March Presbytery. And so kind of that way, sometimes I kind of feel like we're floating dead in the water, but we know that someone's coming. We're not completely floating dead, because we know that we have a man. We're just waiting on him to get here. So just patience for all the whole process to be played out. And we are in a borrowed building, and the Lord's blessed us in that He provided us with the ARP church, who allows us to meet in their building. But as far as I know, they're kind of up in the air about their future because they have very few people. So we may be looking for our own place within the next year or so. And so that would be a blessing if we could find some place that we can afford that would accommodate, us, and even maybe
Possible growth. And also,
and also be, we'd
Yeah.
like to have more people.
yeah, bringing us more people,
Definitely. Very good. Well, thank you so much, and appreciate you guys' time. Love the energy. The group down there when I visited has always been an enjoyment and
Yes.
encouragement to me. So Lord willing, I'll get down there again and
Yeah.
see you all. And until then, may God bless you, and look forward to seeing how God's hand works things out.
Thank you.
We
All right.
enjoyed it. Thank you.